Good morning, everybody. This is Margie here once again for our next podcast on Take Charge of Your Health Naturally. And I said good morning, but I really mean good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are all over the world, because you've got listeners from everywhere. And I think you're going to be as excited and inspired as I was when I first met Jill. Our guest today is Jill Healy Quintard. She is award-winning wellness and fitness coach. But what is interesting, she founded Body and Balance Fitness and Wellness. That is what she founded. But I can't even begin to give you a brief bio. I'm just going to cover some of the things that you need of taking charge of their health naturally. So, transformational coaching programs. She specializes in movement programs, body-mind practices, workshops and retreats, courses and education, and personalized coaching and training. So that's a huge lot of practices all in one, so you get a fantastic package. So from me, Jill, a warm welcome and thank you for taking time out to share your valuable knowledge with all of us. So Jill, just to start us off, would you like to just give us a brief background on what took you into this area, and then we'll go into some more detail.
Okay, so it's been probably a lifetime. That's basically music, movement. I've always moved. My mother told me that I never stopped moving, right? The word go. She was a musician, and so music and movement went together. Went through school, always moved. Went to university because that's what I was sort of pushed into, to become a teacher, even though I wasn't really wanting to teach it, but I did do that. And also at the time, this is going back to 1979, 1980. I got married at a ridiculously young age, which is what a lot of people did also back in those days. And before I knew it, I was actually having a baby. Now, with my teaching, I had just begun teaching, but I had to leave. So you weren't allowed to have that. There was no maternity leave. There was nothing. You just left. And at the same time, we moved from where we were living into an area I didn't know at all, had no friends, no community around me. And then within I had a baby. Because of my dance background, I just thought, I am going to walk down with my baby in a pram, that I know there's a squash courts down the road, and maybe they might be interested in having a movement class for new mums. So I took my baby, I went down to the squash court, I talked to the guy, and he said, that sounds really good, when can you start? And so I just did within a week. And those days you had cassette players, and I decided I'll record everything off radio that I thought was really good music. On a cassette, it was like, stand there, boom, yes, stop, yes, boom, stop, yes, stop. I took my little cassette player and my cassette, and within a very short time, I was overcrowded. I had too many people, him wanting me to do more and more. I was getting paid a big $20 a class, and my baby was being minded. I had new friends. I had friends with baby, and so it was very exciting. Within that time, so we're talking 1979, early 1980, someone said to me, do you know Jane Fonda's doing this thing called aerobics? And I went, no. And they said, it's just like yours. So I had made it up, and so I looked at Jane Fonda's and I thought, oh my God, it is. It's just the same as Jane Fonda, but I'm not quite in the same realm. So I just started continuing doing my stuff. In that time, I decided I'm going to design my own clothing for people to wear to my classes. So I then opened a shop, and that was called Stretch Connection, Body and Balance. That was then when that started. So we're talking 1980. So I opened what I think was the very first active wear shop in Australia. Everything has just been this passion. It's a passion that I have. So within that, there was a time that suddenly people had to get qualifications. So I did all that and then continued. And then I trained a few other people due to it. All of what I did, I'd always been incredibly aware of health and well-being. Everything I did about health, particularly having a young child, I was always into health and well-being, and my mother the same. I'd always been brought up eating fresh vegetables, fruit, etc., etc. So my whole background is always to be with movement, health and well-being. Music and human movement, very important. And to me, I say movement is medicine. I believe if you do not move your body, you cannot possibly be fit and well and healthy, because you move your body, you move your mind, you move the blood flow, the oxygen through the body. And this is what makes you a healthy and well-being person well into aging time. So I talk about healthy aging and longevity as well. So all that has come through. I started winning awards, by the way, aerobic championships. I wrote 2 books. I've won awards in the fitness industry. I've presented in the fitness industry now. So it's all just been this ongoing ongoing, but all of it is to do with basically my core being, to do fitness and wellness being one thing. And it has to be, you have to be well. And if you're not well, then you're sick. So I am completely opposed taking medication to keep you well, because I do believe, I'm talking about people, some people have to, I know. But if you can avoid that, if people can avoid that and be fit, oxygenate, do meditation, start to visualize what they really want, use things like manifestations, all of this. I do all of this part of my whole wellbeing program.
Tell me, why should somebody come to you to improve their health and lifestyle and wellness?
Because other people see it and people tell other people. So I've had some of my clients now for 35 years, some of them still, because they know that they feel and they look better. And it's a matter of coming to me to find out a way to do this. I do corporate as well, and I get people that sit at desks all day, move their bodies in order to balance the way they work and how they think. And if you do know, if you twist to the right, you massage your liver, to the left, you massage your spleen. And so people should come to me to learn that they don't need to say if they've got, something. I mean, at the moment, I've got know of people that are taking Ozempic. Ozempic is apparently a really dangerous drug just because they want to lose weight. This is even, they're not diabetic, they're not anything else, they just want to lose weight. I can't believe the doctors are actually letting them have it. And these people are now really sick because of this drug. They've lost weight, but they're really sick. So my belief is look at an alternative, or I should say alternative, but a natural way of losing weight. Look at what you're eating. Look at what you're putting inside yourself. Too much sugar, too much dairy, too much fat, the wrong oils, all of that sort of stuff. So I've got a huge amount of knowledge, apart from just movement, of actually how to eat, how to work through things like menopause without having to go on HRT, and helping yourself feel best and to live the best life through natural methods. So that's my
Who
philosophy.
doesn't want that, Jill? Tell me.
Some people don't. They want
Oh,
drugs.
no. I don't know anybody who doesn't want that. Tell me, Jill, what is the passion that keeps you so inspired and enthusiastic about the work that you do?
Well, I feel good, and I actually share that with so many people, and I see the response, and I see that people start to change themselves and feel better about themselves. And this has always made me feel joyful to see that. And I know that I've got an energy that people just find they're attracted to that energy.
Magnetic.
It's
Magnetic.
It's contagious, that when I start moving, particularly if I'm doing a dance class with people, because I've got people who never danced in their life, but I get them dancing, so, and they laugh. And that's what I love. It's the laughter. I mean, laughter's got to be also, we talk the best medicine, movement, so it's laughter. So joy, it gives me joy as well as the other people around. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, from our first interview that I had with you, I would like you to explain to our listeners what this really means. Older, stronger, wiser, bolder, living longer, even sexier. Please explain that, because when I first met you, I thought, I like that. I'm going to take that on board.
I use that all the time now because I'm getting older, and I've realized that getting older doesn't mean that you have to go downhill, because the general view is that as you get older, things don't work. People are led into a system of medication, and that is something that no. And that system of medication most of the time takes further down, not up. And so I have this whole thing about, with our age, we should become wiser and know that this is what we need to do, is that use our wiseness. I mean, we've gone through eras and times where wise men and women were, absolutely adored. And some reason in this society, or in many societies at present, older, particularly women, are not recognised as something that is actually incredibly powerful. I actually say this too. Have I mentioned this? We are the witches they once burnt, but we're back.
Oh, I haven't heard you say that before, but I like it.
We're older, wiser, but stronger. We've got to get stronger. And it's so important strong, because things like, for instance, osteoporosis, things like the muscles and the bones not working, things like shrinking, all of those type of things is part of being stronger. Bolder, definitely bolder. Just go. I don't know if I swear, but like, who gives a do what you want, do what you want and don't be told. And so being bolder, and there are ways, and it's up to every individual. It's ways that you can feel sexier is something you want to feel. Why not? Not, if you're older. So this is why I'm talking. So people being older, wiser, bolder, stronger, sexier, and living longer. That's the one. Because if you have all those things going on, you live longer. and it's absolutely guaranteed. Longevity is so important as well, and healthy aging. So there we go. Yeah.
So tell me, Jill, with that beautiful description of what I love, how does that relate to your clients? So what is a client going to, for them to achieve that, what is it that you do with them to achieve that?
Hang out with me. Come and join me. Look, I run classes everywhere because I do lots of live streaming, and I put that philosophy across when I'm just doing so. Live streaming is great. In fact, some people, I've got reviews where people say, I just felt you were in my living room because of the energy and what you put out. So I believe that people get from me. I've got some beautiful things that have been written to me, actually. They get this, as I say, it's a contagious sort of energy. And what does happen, so this morning my 83-year-old Margie, so 83, she's amazing. She gets from me that every single day she needs to do a balance exercise every single day. So she lifts the knee up and turns the knee to one side, so open hip up a little bit, turn the other way, which is a very much a big left-right brain balancing exercise. She knows that she has to do that to keep keep this balance, keep not falling over, because I don't know if you know, but falls, people say, talk about cancer and all the rest. Falls are one of the biggest killers of all people as they're
Yes.
aging. So,
And from 65 onwards.
yes, yeah. So I've got clients from 40s through to mid-80s. That's the age group that I have. The 40s these days are going more into menopause earlier than they used to. So I work with them on getting through that and trying to keep their cortisol levels, their stress levels down. So I do meditation with them. So they come to me to get this beautiful balance through the meditation. The picture I sent you with one of my groups is they're all lying on the floor, and I'm looking quite happy with them, the picture I sent, but doing meditation. So people come to me for those sort of reasons, and they can come to me from anywhere. So I was live streaming in Europe, and I was last year as well. So live streaming back to Australia. We travelled around Australia in a caravan. I live streamed from Uluru and from Cooper Pedy and places like that. So people can still get that element of what I think that I give.
Fantastic.
I don't like to give only half. I've been to classes where you can see people are bored with even teaching the class. I'm not. So when they come to me, they get someone wholeheartedly giving to them, so, and all those different measures to living naturally, to be healthy naturally, to not rely on medications and sitting in a chair all day. And I don't know, that frightens me.
So, Jill, if I said to you, what if someone said to you, when are you going to stop doing what you do?
I've had it said to me, and I go, why? Why? What's the reason? What's the reason to stop? I still don't know the answer to that. What is the reason to stop? I mean, I've come across people who've retired, and within a very short time, they are really bored. And also in a very short time, they decline in age. They decline, particularly men. I know that. But it's something you love and you're still moving and you're still able to talk and you haven't lost everything, then I don't think there's any reason to stop. So,
I absolutely agree with you wholeheartedly.
yeah.
Now, what I'd like to ask you, if any of our listeners want to get hold of you, what is the best way for them to contact you, be part of your movement, join your community? How does that work?
Okay, so they can do this whether they're in Sydney, where I am, or anywhere else. Is my website, which is www.jillhq, my name, .com.au. And on that, I have a free Zoom of a consult. If people want to book Calendly link to have a consult with me and discuss where they are, and there's no obligation to anything other than discuss what they might be wanting or needing or how, or anything with that Zoom. And that's the best way to contact me, I suppose. Or, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, which is where you found me. So I'm on all the platforms. It'll be interesting to see what happens next with all of those, though, with this new sort of system that's going to come in. Hopefully it doesn't.
Well, Jill, I found you absolutely fascinating. And if I was to say to you, what would your top 3 tips be to anyone in that bracket of 40 to 85 who wants to stay young, feel great, older, bolder, happier, longer?
Longer, wiser, sexy.
So what are your top 3 tips for them?
I'd say, now I'll tell you, Margie, 83-year-old Margie, this is what tells me she does every day. So in my class, I have this thing where lying on the ground, arms out to the side, and then bring the knees up first. Take the knees to one side, so you rotate your spine, and on that you exhale, and then inhale again, bring the knees back to center, arms out to the side, exhale the other side. Now she said she never gets out of bed without doing that first, which I've never actually been been preaching people to do in bed, but she said it's absolute wonder. She said, I get out of bed and I just stand up. And she said, my husband, he's like, and she said, I tried to get him to do it, but he won't do it. So for people who are, to just help themselves strong and to stand up and tell you what, look up. Why are people not looking? Because they're here on their phones, walking along the street, walking along on the street. I find that unbelievable that nobody's looking up anymore. So what's happening to their back? They're getting curvature here. It's happening. You can see it, and you can see young people. So my thing is, bring your shoulders up, drop them down, open up, look up, feel that beautiful stretch in your neck. If you wanted to, there's a lymphatic drainage you can just do. I've got so many things. I do tapping as well. So, to do just a little tiny thing there. But the beginning of every class, so I've got 10 principles. Every class that I teach, everything I do, I get people to stand up tall, feel that length in their spine, close their eyes, think about how they're feeling. And if they don't feel dizzy, keep your eyes closed and just breathe and feeling that breath coming through the body, standing tall. Little contraction of the abdominals is really good. I can see you're getting taller just looking at me.
I am.
You just sat up. But anyway, and doing that, okay, all of that, but then start to mobilize spine. So I do talk about lifting core muscles, so starting with lifting pelvic floor and then engaging core, talk about all that, visualizing the muscles and the ligament, but then bringing the chin to the chest and standing. You need to roll the body down so you feel each vertebrae, right? When you reach the bottom, so your head is hanging, so many people, they can't hang their head, still got their head like this. They can't seem to let it go because we all think too much. So roll all the way down, let the head go, have a shoulder shake, take a breath, and then beautiful roll back up again. And as you breathe out, you're rolling up, you're lengthening your spine. Picture one vertebrae on top of the other. And as you reach the top, rise up onto the toes. I'm standing. And reach the arms all the way up. So that is a really good just movement through your body. Just that one thing every morning. And then roll down again. So I do that. This is how I start my classes. And then just do wiggles. I've always got fabulous music, by the way, and some wiggles and swing and feel great. You can do that in 2 seconds. Beautiful. That's it. Done. That's a warm up.
Well, Jill, you are so inspiring. I'm sure you're going to have a whole heap of people joining you from all over to say, I want what you've got.
I would love that. That would be
From
fabulous.
me, bless you, and thank you so much for being our guest this morning.
Okay. All right. Thank you.